EA Sports. It's in the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready?
Get ready, dog.
This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Poss, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a stop so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, the pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing, relieving the kings of all crowns. So are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, y'all keep the flow. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Ready, set, steady, back. Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all peep the flow. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind?
To the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Cleveland Browns. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and we've got an AFC North tilt here, and this is a division coming into 2019 where maybe you're saying, is there a changing at the guard at the top?
And if so, could it be a team that possibly we haven't talked about in a long time? Could it be the Cleveland Browns? Because they are the trendy pick right now with the young quarterback Baker Mayfield, the acquisition of Odell Beckham Jr., and so many other great moves that they've made along the way. Can they now move to the top of the leaderboard ahead of Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati? They believe they can.
This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Baker Mayfield, the second-year quarterback from Oklahoma, will pilot this offense as the Browns get set for their first drive. And for Mayfield, this could be a free play. And this one drops incomplete, but I think the defense jumped.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards that time.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. And a look now at the starting offense for the Browns.
And the focus will definitely be on wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. after the trade from the New York Giants to the Cleveland Browns. How will he mesh with his new quarterback, Baker Mayfield? And can they be the duo that leads Cleveland to the playoffs for the first time since 2002?
On 2nd and 10, Mayfield, Bud Dupree leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. 3rd and long for Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Come off the ball. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Check 9, check 9.
This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his 2nd season, James Conner. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Kill, kill, kill. Kill.
On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Check 37, check 37. 58, right over there, yeah. Mike.
On 1st and 10 is Conner. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
53's the most. Check 53.
On 2nd down, it's Conner, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Check 53. All day, every day, any day. Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
49, check 49, check 49.
Alert flare, alert flare.
Here's Benny Snell Jr., the rookie from Kentucky. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Second and 6. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Undercrunch, undercrunch, undercrunch. 58's the money.
They're going to look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, but 9.9 times out of 10, just missed that one.
Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Mayfield looking middle, and it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Completes this to Callaway over on the right side. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. Mayfield off the play fake. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And again, it's Mayfield. Looking for the out route. It's completed to Landry. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10. And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. So that'll back them up 5. A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. Following the penalty, Chubb And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Throwing on 2nd and long. Mayfield, throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
That coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there, and how about what he did after the catch?
Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. David Njoku there to make the grab, and the Browns have taken the lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Football going over to the Pittsburgh Steelers here, and you think about 2019 coming up. The Killer Bees, it's now just down to the Killer Bees, singular, because you got Le'Veon Bell, he's in New York, Antonio Brown in Oakland, and Ben Roethlisberger, he's the one that's left, Charles.
I keep hearing from my scouts around the league that Ben Roethlisberger's having a heck of a camp. It's a lot quieter in Pittsburgh, as you might imagine, right? A lot of the hubbub has died down, but he's playing well. And we saw last year James Conner filled in quite capably, went to the Pro Bowl in Le'Veon Bell's stead. And Juju Smith-Schuster, he was the #2 receiver for Pittsburgh last year. Now he has to become the #1 with Antonio Brown in Oakland. We'll see how he handles that, but the talent is there. And I love Jalen Samuels, a hybrid-type player out of the backfield in the slot. Dante Moncrief and James Washington have to make the biggest jumps out on the perimeter in order for Pittsburgh to still operate as they have on offense.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Check, 53 is mine. Blue Dan. Check. Fresno. Jim. 53 is the mic.
Back to throw. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Murray. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again, the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Mayfield to throw it. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Now Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears. He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
Now back to throw. And his throw is incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? One for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around, not having that success. Might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Joe Schobert able to get him for a loss of about 3. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football, not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action.
Check three, check three. 58 for Mike, 58 for Mike. I'm coming after you, squeeze. Check 24, check 24.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. He'll drop to throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
And those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. They'll set up a throw. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. From 6 yards away, as his guys are back within a single score. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally, you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
We got this.
Browns offense working their way back out here, Charles. And one thing is already for sure about these Browns. They're not going to lack for storylines. You think about this, though. This team has not had a winning record since George W. Bush was president, was 0-16 2 years ago. And now they're not just getting playoff buzz, they're getting Super Bowl. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And how about that for just running out the clock? Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one.
Check 55, Mike. Hey, pick your game up.
First down, Mayfield. The quick slant caught. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Second and goal from the 1. Here's Mayfield. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you gotta expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Sponge! 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 No, no, no! Watch twist! Watch twist! Watch twist! Twist, twist! Twist, twist!
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And he will be taken down, but not before he gets this to the Browns' 28. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Tight dog! Tight dog! Tight dog! Hey, hey, watch it! Watch it!
From the gun, a give to Connor. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
58's the mic.
Here's 2nd and 8. And he connects with Vance McDonald. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Watch the edge. Kill, 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 kill.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, held in by Smith-Schuster. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
Come on. Show it. Show it. Pick the edge. Pick the edge. Come, come.
They'll run on 1st down. Connor slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Hey, let's get in them holes. Whip. Watch the whip. Check 13. Check 13.
Second and 13. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
No. Off. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. What? Go. 3 to Mike. 50.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Vance McDonald there to make the grab. And the Steelers are going to retake the lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Extra point now by Boswell. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
And maybe shades in the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From the gun, Mayfield. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Switzer on the return. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Watch out.
Out of the shotgun, they'll run with counter. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Jannard Avery coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully...
Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. That's Vince Williams who gets the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To try again after the sack. Mayfield finding Harris over the middle.
Holding offense.
Well, they completed the pass but lost yardage, so they'll decline the penalty.
Perfect play for them, isn't it? Who needs a penalty when you try and throw the ball, you don't even get it downfield, and they go ahead and snuff out the play. They'll take that as a result.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? To throw, Mayfield. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Here's Switzer. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. Baker Mayfield, as a rookie, 3 times he led the Browns back to victory in the 4th quarter. What can he do here in year number 2? And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete and really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Just wondered about his mechanics right now, you know, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in practice to make it repetitive, but it has to repeat under pressure, whether it's pressure from the defense or just the pressure of playing the game.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. so well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Yeah, last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to... Going forward here on this drive. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Put that team on the bus. 6 guard. Check 6 guard.
Again, it's Connor. And an alley to run. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 6. 16 yards, a first down.
And the Steelers first down. First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a first and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On first down, it's Connor. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Here's Connor. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll try and run for it with Connor. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the run is Connor. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
This is Connor. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers.